weight was the pinnacle. And I've had a chance to lift those old stones, and that was the top, man. Those, the 308. And then they had a 330. It's sort of like, 6-minute abs, 5-minute abs, those kind of shows. And then it got to where a 400-pound stone was possible. I saw one of the first 400-pound stones lifted, Phil Pfister. And we were like, that's incredible. That's so impossible. Now, 500, 565, is 600 possible? Again, we're back to stretching the limits of human capability. And that's one of the visions of Terry Todd with this competition. What can human beings do? What is this really about? How far can we stretch this thing? A 565 stone is unbelievable.
I mean, you're a doctor, you're a strongman, you know all about the human body. Do you even dare to put a number on, like, what is humanly possible generations from now in this kind of competition?
It's hard to say. I mean, it's also the interest that is put into it. I think that if we continue this momentum, I've always said that the world's strongest man doesn't, the man who could be world's strongest man doesn't even know it. Because there's a guy out there on some loading dock in some place who's got massive hands and great shoulders and some other physical attributes that he doesn't even know that he has that kind of strength because he hasn't been exposed to it or have the time or resources to do it. There are people in the world who could be here. We find those people, and I've scoured the earth looking for those people as much as many others people have here who are lovers of strength, and many of the coaches trying to find that athlete that can do those kind of things. I think we will see more and more. The 700-pound stone, I mean, bath stone lifters are shouldering a 700-pound stone with those special handles. The human body can do it.
We'll continue to test the limits year after year, and coming up here, 565 pounds. Let's take a look at the stone, something that was hard to conceive of pretty recently, and now it's the entry point here before you can try the 602-pound stone. They are organizing the competition here on the floor behind us here in Columbus, Ohio, and it looks like Tom Stoltman will be first up. Trey Mitchell will follow, and Wesley Claiborne will be third up here on these stones. 565 first, and then a 600-pound stone. It is hard to imagine, but we're going to see it play out here in just a moment.
So you can see our young man, Mr. Stoltman. I'll call him Mr. Stoltman. He's got great height. It's great to see again the Scottish athletes are here, but he's a very tremendous stone lifter, and I think he's going to show us how to do the 565. Wesley Claiborne is an American who's we saw at Santa Monica. He's a bit of a minimalist. He's just going to walk out and make his attempts. He also has the world's record in lifting a keg over a bar, and that's over 550 pounds. So he's got a shot at this, obviously. So we'll see what happens.
And the stone versus a keg, obviously, different sizes, different dimensions, different ways to grip things.
Correct.
That's going to play a big part.
But it has a lot to do with your back strength. So Tom Stoltman's from the far north of Scotland, up in Caithness and Alness. I know that area somewhat. It's near Halkirk, Scotland. He's getting the go-ahead, it looks like.
565 pounds.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, our final event of the day. Looking to set a record in this Atlas Stone, the Manhood Stone Challenge.
We've got a lot of our competitors in the Arnold Strongman Classic hanging out around the perimeter. They want to see this too.
I do. I want to see the 600-pound as well.
560 held by Brian Shaw. This would be a record. 565.
Yes! Makes it look easy, a record in its own right.
He's warming up for the 600-pound stone. Wow. Can you make the rest of us not feel so bad and just strain a little bit, buddy?
You made it look easy.
I love it when you get to laugh at some of these things. You're sort of, that was incredible. I think we're going to see a legitimate run on that 600-pound stone. What do you think?
I mean, that looked pretty easy at 565.
He's lifted stones this big, I guarantee you, with the way he just did that.
His effort here
Trey Mitchell III from Lumberton, Texas is next.
He wants to get this. It's a push, Luke. I want to see somebody push Luke. Push Tom, I mean. Right in his fingertips. You just can't get the stone. You don't get to break it off the ground, you're not going to lift it. Really what you're trying to do is push your fingers into the stone. See how these athletes over there, that's tacky, some resin. He's really applying that. Stone lifting without tacky is very different, but it's accepted that for certain competitions that you can use some tacky.
Putting more tacky on.
I think he's got enough.
You need to get a good grip on that stone. That's what you were explaining here, the challenge.
What you want are long arms. You don't want to cock your arms at all because that could injure a bicep. And you know, that's kind of a strongman problem. Keeping those long arms, digging your fingers into the fingertips into the stone. As you break the stone off the ground, you're really not trying to stand up with it. You're trying to push your feet down. Get up to your knees, roll it up, and then you can start the process of standing up with it.
He'll make his second attempt.
Up, and then you can start the process of standing up with it.
He'll make his second attempt. Hard to get under it.
Yeah, just up, and then you can just not start the process of standing up with it.
Tom Stoltman able to make his second attempt.
Yes.
So there has been a record set already. Hard to get under it. Just where will
up, and then you can just not start the process of standing up with it.
Tom Stoltman able to make his second attempt.
Yes.
So there has been a record set already. Hard to get under it. Just where will
up, and then you can just not start the process of standing up with it.
Tom Stoltman able to make his second attempt.
Yes.
So there has been a record set already. Hard to get under it. Just where will
up, and then you can just not start the process of standing up with it.
Tom Stoltman able to make his second attempt. So there has been a record set already. Hard to get under it. Just where will
up, and then you can just not start the process of standing up with it.
Tom Stoltman able to make his second attempt. So there has been a record set already. Hard to get under it. Just where will
up, and then you can just not start the process of standing up with it.
Tom Stoltman able to make his second
time, lifting stones and the Atlas stones in competitions. 6:02.
Put it in perspective. We've got our competitors here in the overall the 6th event Arnold Strongman Classic. Are these lifts that they can or should be trying to do if it weren't involved in the overall competition where there's maybe a bigger prize at stake?
No, I think you can serve yourself for the competition if you're qualified to compete in the Arnold Strongman. I think that these are special events, but it still draws some of the greatest athletes. Wow, right off the ground. Wow.
6:02.
Wow. Oh, my goodness. Whoa. That was astounding. Wow. Astounding.
We got to find bigger stones.
Oh. Well, Steve Slater makes them. As you can see, they're Slater stones. So, yes, I think he can make them. Tall, got a long grip. 6:02. Unbelievable. Okay, let's see what
Wes
Wes
Claiborne
has.
can try and match it.
He did struggle a little more than we just saw on the first stone. So let's see what happens here. I guess they split the money if they both get it because they both broken or tied the record. Whoa! Off the ground. That's fantastic. That's actually a great lift in itself.
He got it off the floor.
Magnus is on the stage. He's quite impressed by the fact he just broke it off the floor.
Come on.
I feel pretty good just deadlifting with these
Let's
guys
declare.
yanking up as a stone.
Got to his knees.
He's pushing his feet down, trying to get it to his knees and roll it back.
Tom Stoltman, your
I think he's done.
Tom Stoltman will hold the world record on his own. 602 pounds.
Fantastic.
Fitting end to an outstanding opening day of competition. Tom Stoltman establishing and then re-establishing again here in this Rogue record breaker, and he is tied with our Kiki Dixon.
Tom, you made that look easy. You set the record, then you broke your own record. What does it mean to you to do that here?
Yeah, well, to do it on the biggest stage in Strongman's good, but I was confident. I think I've got a 300k plus stone in me, you know. Everyone's saying I'm the king of the stones, and I proved it today, and it felt easier than I thought it would, so yeah, really, really happy. So.
You certainly did prove it. Back home, how often are you training with stones and what weights?
I'm training once a week with the first world record I did. I do that for, so I knew the first one was there, and then all I needed to do was an easy second one that luckily went over, so yeah, all good.
That it did. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Incredible. We got to find bigger stones. 660 pounds, 700 pounds. What's possible is being reimagined each and every year as we wrap up day one of competition. An outstanding performance here throughout in our Rogue record breakers. But in terms of the Arnold Strongman Classic, Mateusz Kieliszkowski has put the bar up there, taking the lead to start off ahead of Hafthor Bjornsson. It's going to make for an outstanding day two of competition.
I think Hafthor's happy that someone's pushing him, but because last year he had such a dominant performance and really was in jeopardy of running away with it. The other guys kind of caught up with him, but he's being severely challenged this time. He's got a second place standing coming into the second day. They've extended the events from 5 events to 6 events, which all the athletes do like that because it gives a little more space and time for them to have opportunity to catch up. But it's right here. There can be only one.
Indeed, indeed. 3 more outstanding events await our 10 strongmen tomorrow as we'll wrap up competition here from the 2020 Arnold Strongman Classic in Columbus, Ohio. It's going to make for a great final day, and of course there are other athletes who are within striking range. Martin Licis last year, the runner-up. Mathematically, it is possible, but he's really going to have to put the pedal to the metal. He did beat Hafthor Bjornsson in one event. Can he do it again? That will be the big question tomorrow. The Mountain, can he three-peat in the Arnold Strongman Classic? He's only a half point behind. And then, of course, Mateusz Kieliszkowski, our leader, with 2 event wins and 3 more big events to come tomorrow. For Kiki Dixon on the event floor, Bill Crawford, I'm Sam Farber. On behalf of our entire crew, we thank you for tuning in here with us today in Columbus, Ohio, and hope you'll join us again tomorrow at the 2020 Arnold Strongman Classic.
Event 1 of the 2020 Rogue Record Breakers qualifier is the men's and women's one-hand snatch on the 254-pound Rogue replica of Regulo's barbell. The athlete must perform the snatch lift with a minimum weight of 198 pounds on a standard Olympic-type barbell. Your video submission should be your highest successful lifted weight. For the official movement standards, please visit roguefitness.com/record-breakers and download the event rules and details.
The Santa Monica Pier, one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of Southern California. It has played host from everything from concerts to paddleboard racing, and today it adds yet another event to its storied history, the Arnold Strongman USA. Thanks for joining us, everybody, here today in beautiful Santa Monica, California. I'm Sean Woodland with Dr. Bill Crawford. We certainly could not have picked a more perfect day for this event, and we definitely could not have picked a more appropriate location.
A very historic place to have a competition for strongman. This is where Arnold got his start at Muscle Beach. In 1977, Arnold's book, The Education of a Bodybuilder, sent a shockwave through a lot of people's lives and got a lot of barbells in a lot of hands.
This is